Thanks so much for tuning in to another edition of the Bloody Legends with Jai That Aussie Metal Guy and Jim Taylor. Make sure you're a bloody legend and hit that like and subscribe so you can keep up to date with all the great content from these bloody legends. Hey, how are you all going? It's Jai That Aussie Metal Guy here with my co-host Jim. It's time for another edition of the Bloody Legends, and we have our favourite bloody legend, Matt Hanchuck of Rectify and Gutter Creek. Look, I've interviewed you so many times, and it's always a pleasure, my friend. And I mean,
look at them knuckles. Look at them knuckles.
I mean that personally, man, my friend. Thank you so much for joining again for another chat.
Thanks for having me, man. As always, thanks for having me.
We love you, brother. Absolutely.
Yeah, the love is right back, reciprocated, full force.
Yes, sir.
Love it. Love being here. Good people, and always good conversations. Always. So.
Absolute pleasure, man. Let's start at the latest release for Gutter Creek, man. Fangs to the Face. It's an absolute ripper, man. I've been hammering it over on my radio show. Really enjoyed this release and glad it's finally out for you, as you are probably fucking excited to have it out as well.
Yeah. You want to know the story behind what happened there?
Yeah, man, I do.
Please.
Yeah. I won't go into too much detail because I'm not. Oh, what do you got? Oh, that's.
I got the amazing cover art for it, so people know what they're looking at, man.
That's so rad. Oh my god, that's so beautiful.
I actually got that. I got that tattooed on my arm.
That's amazing, man.
He sent. I was gonna say, Jay. He sent me that tattoo, and I was like, God damn, man, that's cool.
Yeah. Tell us the story, Matt.
Yeah, the record label. They wanted to omit, it's a 12-song LP, and they wanted to cut 3 tracks. I just wasn't having it. And then there was some other little minor things that I don't want to mudsling too much, right? It's done. It's a dead issue. It's a mute point. So, whatever. I just read some stuff about that label, and they're crying with regards to what's occurring overseas. You know, they're talking. One of the gentlemen from the label specifically who I dealt with, who had just finished stating on a post I just read recently that all the Ragnarok Records is announcing they're done. And that was the affiliate that did the CDs with Doc Gator.
Okay.
So maybe it wasn't that bad of an idea to, off the ship when I could, right? So, yeah. But at the end of the day, they wanted to omit 3 tracks for length reasons. And we'd released a lyric video for Resistance. They did 0 promo for it. None. This isn't this isn't the Sign of the Beast, whatever the In Club thing. I'm saying 0.
Yeah.
0. Okay. With regards to promotion, there was nothing. There was no mention of the record coming out, and they kept telling us it was going to drop in December.
So then no posts, no nothing. That's got to be a bit fucking
nothing. And that's the thing. It was like I was kind of mortified because they dropped the ball. I really felt with the first record, and that it didn't get a lot of promo. And after months or a year's time, we had that's it. That one.
Right.
How's it aging? How is that one aging, Jai?
It's fucking amazing. I was just rocking out to Hell Rider just before, dude.
Right on, dude. Listen, okay, I know I'm all over the map. I'm such a scatterbrain, but I look at this frantic pace in my head all the time, like a hamster on a wheel. The new Gutter Creek record, so album number 3. Not to get ahead of this conversation, but there's like a part 2 to Hell Rider, another swing metal track on the new album. So we went back to that style again. Yeah,
that album rocks, man, and so does the new one.
Oh, dude, for sure.
I think the new record is a bigger is a growth in every respect, not just with the songwriting, but the production, performances, on everyone's part. I think it's just a better sound record with better songs. I think it's just more consistent as an album, front to back, when you listen to it all the way through. The new one just got more teeth, I think. Anyway, have you heard it, Jim?
Oh, dude, the stuff you've been sending me, which thank you for that in general. But amazingly, God, the everything with the instrumentation, it's so
I sent
tight.
I sent you trigonometry. Yeah, that new
Defy
song. Yeah, myself and Chris phone. Yeah.
It's so tight, Maddie. It's so tight. It's so tight. And like, and Jai, it was funny. Like, I sent this riff to Matt that I was working on, and it was so funny. He was like, "Hey, that sounds like a Rectify riff," and I immediately kind of had it. I kind of had this. I had this moment where I was like, "Oh shit." No, I wasn't trying to emulate you. And he was like, "No, it's fucking great."
I was just, yeah, inspired you.
Yeah,
that's great.
But he's dude, he's my my fucking Yoda to you know, the Padawan here. But oh dude, I am. I'm gonna say it, my brother. But like the riffs are amazing for what you're doing.
Thanks,
and oh, it's amazing, brother.
Yeah, well, that's one thing with the Gutter Creek stuff.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's one thing with the Gutter Creek and the Rectify stuff. You're able. I don't think you can't create a good song. You know what I mean? The riffs,
right?
The layers on this. You know, it's kind of that he's got swagger.
Bad song
it's kind of like bad
song.
I know. It's like that. He's got swagger as like, you know what I mean? Almost like describes like what you've got going on at the moment too, because you guys have actually been able to get over and finally catch up. And I know what that meant to you to kind of get Soren over and to be able to play a couple of shows with him as well. You've been able to do that, create this second album, and it kind of feels like you've actually, like you said, you've hit your straps and you're kind of creating some of the best material you've ever did. And I know that's how you've always rolled from our first interview to now, to what you've done with Rectify, to what you've done to go
1000%.
Everything you do, you kind of have this prolific pace of creation, but you're always improving. You're always going, man, what can I do next? You're always looking for that next step as well.
That's what it's all about, though, is, I guess, as an artist, to try not to rehash or repeat as little as possible. I push myself as hard as I can, man. Like with each record, there's like the pressure to not repeat yourself, but at the same time venture into new categories and new territory as a songwriter. And with the Gutter Creek thing, I think coming fresh off that run of shows we did, and then going head first into the songwriting, I was full of like piss and vinegar. You know what I mean? Like from the tour, I had so much like fervor in me, if you will, fervor and vigor, fervor. I was just like really like I had such a good time with those guys, and the shows were they were fun, man. Everything I just felt really inspired to sit down and write and play, and those songs were real easy to write, really easy. And actually, that's again, we talked about this before, but the Gutter Creek stuff was designed to be that way. We were talking about the riffing and the Rectify technicality.
Yes,
I appreciate it. I thank you for that.
Yeah.
But Gutter Creek is so watered down by comparison in terms of the complexity of it, And for me as a songwriter, I kind of, in some ways, it's a little bit more satisfying in that you can construct a song, in almost one fell swoop from beginning to end, and 4 riffs is the construct of a song, Whereas a Rectify song, 4 riffs before the verse comes in. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
Like it's completely different structuring of music, and stylistically, one's more technical and one's more accessible. And I think it gives you more room to make the song breathe. Sometimes less is more. So you got your construct of you got your construct of your song, and it's all about the hooks. How can we incorporate as many hooks as we can into this? We just had a conversation online. Someone posted, might have been Derek, actually. I think it was Derek. Posted a meme making fun of the band Ghost. A lot of people, that's not their cup of tea. Fine. At my age, I don't throw shit at too many artists because I respect just about everyone that's out there doing their thing. You look at a band like Ghost, I think a lot of the discontent they get is merely from maybe a little bit of jealousy. I mean, if you think about it, they're a pop rock band, headlining above bands like Slayer when Slayer was still functional. Yeah. They're second only to like Metallica here, right? And they're very formulaic music. Much they get the same sort of glorified hate with a band like Nickelback gets. Man, I could only dream to have the following fucking Nickelback has.
Yeah, so I love Ghost too, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say same.
I love Ghost, man. Ghost rocks, dude. And what you said, it is kind of
Absolutely.
like that pop
Well,
Indeed.
you can,
rock formulaic sound, but fuck, it's so cool.
so
Right.
yeah, so how many metalheads like ZZ Top? Quite a few, right?
Oh, dude.
ZZ Top is not a metal band, right?
No.
So if we can all conclude that Ghost is not a metal band, then we can agree that they're a pretty cool pop rock band. You follow?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
That's not fucking metal, man. It's like, yeah, I know it's not metal at all.
You can like what you like too. That's it,
cool. It's killer stuff. Yeah, Anyway,
right.
Whatever.
No,
Yeah.
I totally agree.
No.
Some people get on their high horse in this metal fucking elitism thing, whereas like, you know what I mean? Like ghost bands like Ghost and Sleep Token and people having these arguments over them. Oh, they're metal, they're not. It doesn't matter whether they're metal or not. They're creating some good fucking music, and it might be polarizing to some, but there's millions of people that are consuming this and loving it. And I've seen Sleep Token live as well. Like I've heard a lot of blowback about them, and they're absolutely unreal live, dude. The sound they create and the experience that you have at that concert is absolutely amazing.
I was gonna say, just enjoy the riff.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Just enjoy the riff.
Like,
that's it.
I mean, if Johnny B. Good doesn't make your body want to boogie, then you're like, you're like groove ineffective,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, there's some, like, I don't know. It's very ambiguous. It's music, man, Anyway.
Side note, our side project, we should call Groove Ineffective.
Was that what we're doing?
I'm just saying. Yeah. I think we should.
Like that. Groove Ineffective. Yeah. Trigonometry, side B. Groove Ineffective.
Groove Ineffective. But it's just stop. Stop. People need to stop. It's like, oh, this is what do you call I'm trying to think of the right word, derivative and this and that. How about you just enjoy the riff, man?
Yeah, if you don't, we'll listen to something fucking else. Like, why is everybody gonna jump on a computer these days and go, oh, I don't fucking like this, I don't fucking like that, and fucking blah blah blah, but don't contribute to a scene in any way, shape, or form. They don't buy any fucking merch.
Okay, check this out, Jai. So back to your question about the whole thanks the face thing and that. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna start my own record label, Knuckle Duster Records, and we're gonna release it's gonna be merely a vehicle to control the release of Gutter Creek. Yep. That was it. And then all the digital mediums. I reached out to my friend Cragen from Heathen.
Yeah, he's unreal.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I asked Craig and I said, hey Craig, and I said, can you hook me up, man? And can you can we use your platforms through Sublevel, his record medium, to get our stuff on all the Spotify, Pandora, all the the major streaming platforms? Excuse me. He said, yeah, absolutely. So I thought, well, you know what? If we're gonna drop the ball on this one, we'll do it ourselves. We won't let the label do it. We'll do it. So and I've actually already sold more CDs. Like we pressed our own CDs, pressed 1,000 CDs, and we've sold more CDs already than the label sold of the last record. 100%. I know that for a fact.
That's great, isn't it, to have that independence and sort of more control?
Media. That is strictly through social media medium. Just people PMing me steady to, how much for a CD, blah, 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 how much to ship here. So I got a pretty good little graph now what it costs to ship to most states a CD. So
isn't that gratifying to kind of not have the label? Sometimes it works having a label involved, and sometimes it's better to be able to do it yourself, but you've got to kind of have that drive, and you're a man that definitely has that drive to be able to do it independent as well.
If you're a big enough band, then you need that mega machine to promote you. Like, for example, Ghost is not going to self-manage themselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
They need a Nuclear Blast or a Napalm Records, or let's go bigger, Epic Records or Warner Brothers or whatever. That's the pantheon of music, of the level of music that they require to get their shit out, right? To reach the audiences that they need to achieve to have those stadium tours sold out when they do them, Whereas if Rectify is going to play shows, if we can get 100 people in the bar, we're good. We're happy with that, right?
Yes, sir.
Definitely. Like I
Or
had
Gutter
the,
Creek. Hopefully Rectify we can get a little more than that now. But yeah,
exactly. And yeah, this will kind of tie in there as well. I did have a chat with Darren Travis of Sadist, who incidentally had Juan Ortega. You guys have worked with before as well, and we actually kind of talked about this a little bit because they'd called it a day because they wanted more time with their family and everything like that. And this album, the last album they brought out, they were like tossing between just making the album for the fuck of it, and it was kind of independent. They ended up going with Nuclear Blast, kind of exactly for the reasons you said, to kind of drive that product out a little bit as well.
Yeah, exactly. You need a bigger, that's right. That's the vehicle that you required. If you're going to go out and play on those big shows, those bigger venues, those bigger, you're going to be on a bigger bill, if you will.
I could see you guys there though. So I could see you on one of those European stages, man. Fuck, dude. Download Hellfest. I know Aussie thrash.
I was going to say,
Hidden Intent just went over there last year, dude. I know they do put on, have those smaller stages, man. I would one day love to have you guys up there overplaying on the European stages, man. You guys would absolutely fucking kill it. I know for sure.
Yeah.
Second,
someday, man. Bucket list. It's bucket list. It probably would have happened already by now. That COVID fucked everything up a while ago. I know Powers That Be sold really well through Punishment 18 Records. To this day, that's still our best-selling record with Rectify. Yeah. And I think Aaron was gung ho about that at the time. Our singer Aaron Randall at the time. Aaron was really happy with the trajectory, if you will, that album had. It found an audience on it, albeit on an independent level, but like those guys, they did a good job pushing it. Punishment 18, like they had it in, you could get it in everywhere. Every store that had CDs had that CD. You know what I mean? So anyway, right. The label has everything to do with a lot to do with it. But on an independent level, some of the independent labels are in a little bit too deep, a little over their head, I think, and they put all their eggs in one basket, focus on maybe 1 or 2, 3 bands off their roster, and they got 40, 50 bands. And some of those bands get kind of forgotten, if you will. I think that's what happened with Gutter Creek.
Kind of lost. Yeah. Kind of lost in the shuffle a little bit.
You all right over there, dude?
Who, me?
Right over there?
Yeah, I'm fine. Why?
It looks like you're dying out on me.
No, I'm fine. No, I'm fine, man. No, I'm good.
Yeah, no. You had a Phil Anselmo moment there.
That's terrible. Oh no! Actually, I'm fine. I was actually just thinking about what you were saying, and it's you got to keep pushing, and it's like you can't rely on God bless what record companies do, but you got to push. You got to have that DIY situation.
Well, in the old days, you could beat the road hard, play as many shows.
Correct.
And you could live. You could live like that, and it's not fun, but you can live like that.
Right.
But you can't do that today. You really can't live like that.
Not at all.
Not a band at that like Gutter Creek level type thing. No. Ain't gonna happen.
No.
No, and now you've got a lot of these venues where they're taking a cut of your merch sales. Where and high is like 30%, some of them, and it's like, fuck, man. I mean, you take an artist of like or a band of that magnitude, which there is no magnitude, if you will. You're just a
right
band developing a following. Man, you're self-producing things. Everything's coming out of pocket. The last thing you want to do is pay out some promoter 30% of your merch sales.
Isn't that bullshit?
That's probably offset. That probably offsets to bring you back up to the black, to get you out of the red.
And does the band sit there? Does the band sit there, Matt? No, exactly. Is the band sitting there, Matt, going, "Where's my cut of the fucking drinks you made through the night?" You know what I mean? Where's my cut of the alcohol you sold? You know what I mean? Because that's the thing.
Well, like I told you before, though, it shouldn't cost you money to entertain.
No.
If you know, if you're in the business to make money, then you're fucking not. You're in the wrong business, and that's all there is to it. A lot of these guys that start a band, whatever, be a rock star and bang groupies and stuff. Well, you can do half of that, I guess. The other half of it is complete bullshit, and actually, it's all bullshit, right? But at the end of the day, the money just isn't there.
It's all bullshit now. No.
So if nothing else, you should be able to break even and just do it for free. And just do it because you enjoy doing it. When it starts costing you money to entertain people, then you have to question your sanity.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right? At that point. Yeah. So thankfully we're not really there yet because we're selling enough merch like shirts and CDs that we're staying afloat from recording costs, production costs, and all that other stuff, and logistics. Like we did the tour and flying everybody in. Anyway, we're good, but we're getting a little off topic. This has nothing to do with us, but for a lot of other bands, they can't afford to do this full time anymore. We don't want to. We don't have any intentions of doing it full time. But there's a lot of bands at this level who can't do it because it just doesn't financially work for them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of venues on that note too, as you're talking about COVID fucking things and bands kind of not being able to do it. There's also venues that are closing up as well, lots of venues, and as you've touched on, venues taking merch cuts from bands as well. So it's already hard enough. You guys to chip together to fucking get some petrol money to get to a gig to play a show. You sell a couple of shirts to make your petrol money back, and then the cunts take half the money you made. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey,
you know what would be a good idea is you steal some batteries out of some electric cars, you sell those, and then you use that money to offset the price of your fuel. See?
Yeah, exactly. or you get Davo. You just go, "Oi, Davo, I'll fucking chuck you a bag of weed." You go at the back of the car park. You sell some shirts.
I just found my first use for an electric car. I finally found a use for an electric car. I'm going to steal a fucking battery and sell it for gas money.
Beautiful.
Exactly, and we'll sell shirts from that as well.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
We do have
to... New Gutter Creek album, Jai. What's your favorite song off of it?
Me, dude. I'm loving the whole bloody album, dude. I played We Got Swagger the other day on the show. Dude, I've been jumping around all over on that one. I actually jumped into the old album and, like I said, cranked the hell out of that. I had Hellrider blasting this morning. I went over in Bandcamp and grabbed that, dude, as well. I'm actually a real bad Bandcamp nerd. That's why I was like, yeah, it's for me, it's a big thing being able to get over and at least even to buy the digital copies of bands as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The title track's an absolute ripper.
Are you still a fan of the first one more so than the new one, or?
Oh no, dude! I'm loving the new one as well, dude. I love all your music, man. It's really good to jump into. The title track, "Fangs to the Face," is an absolute ripper, man. As I said, that We Got Swag.
Indeed,
really cool. I was drawn to that one for some reason, man.
Yeah, you know what? This record took. It was like there was a lot of resistance trying to see this thing come out, but now that it's actually come out, it's been smooth sailing. So, anyways. So
track's really good too, man. Resistance. That was a nice way to end the album.
We're talking about trolls earlier. I got to tell you this troll story. I just kind of gleaned this recently. So this is funny to me. It's funny. So I got pretty thick skin. I don't really care what most people think. I don't care. It's like you don't like it. That's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. The life you've been through though, some little troll fucking talking shit on the computer, man.
No doubt. No doubt.
Infidel.
Yeah.
Infidel.
So I was we're trying to get this album reviewed by independent rock journalists, something that a label their PR people would do. So I'm Googling like Rectify reviews to see the names of people that have reviewed some of the music I've written. Like, I'm going on the internet. So I hit on a bunch on Powers That Be. And I started reading the comments saying, man, do I ever get beat up for the lyrics? It's insane the amount of abuse I take for the lyrics. And I was laughing hysterically reading it. It's like, so I go in there and I ask Buddy, I go, recommend a band with good lyrics then. Cannibal Corpse.
Right?
That's what I was told. Fucking Cannibal Corpse does good lyrics. I'm like, okay. Hammer smashed bass. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's great.
It's all very subjective, right? It's all very subjective. Yeah. The beauty for me of the Rectify thing, like we talked about that. Rectify is more of the cathartic outlet with the anger, and your frustration and your it's all basic human emotions. And Gutter Creek
Gutter
is
Creek.
more of like a feel good set of songs for me.
It
For
is.
me, it is.
It
Okay.
is. And
Right.
some of the songs I feel like almost like I do notice the comparisons between the Rectify and the Gutter Creek. Like, as you said, it is a feel good, but also it's kind of like I notice at some points you tend to, with the Gutter Creek, a bit more of a fuck you to religion a little bit at times. You know what I mean? Or just
Gutter Creek?
just
No,
not,
man, it's actually the opposite. It's
Is
actually the
it?
opposite. I'm a pretty spiritual guy.
Yeah,
I'm a pretty
yeah.
spiritual guy, man. Yeah,
It feels
no,
like
totally.
more like. Don't get me wrong, to like but just the way people tend to grab it and run with it wrong. You know what I mean? And use that.
No, that's fine. Listen.
Aims.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty. If you can write a song that leaves it so open-ended by which people can draw different things from it, I think that's the most difficult thing to do, because it's never done intentionally. It's always by accident. It's like holy hell, you got that out of that song? But that song was written about my Uncle Tony fishing, drinking beer. How did you get something about drug addiction or something? You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
yeah.
isn't that good as an
Yeah.
artist to be able to sit there and let people have that be subjective, not kind of put your meaning onto it as well. The kind of people, as an independent and underground artist, that you're not so much out there, that people can kind of grab their own interpretations from these songs.
Yeah, for sure. So, but the lyrics on the Gutter Creek stuff are much more positive.
Yeah.
Like to me, they are. When they're being written, they're from a positive place. They're not from a place of anger or rage, where the Rectify.
Right.
Like, one
Totally
hand you
different.
got a pen, and the other hand you got a knife, and you're hitting the table.
Yes, sir.
Trudeau's face there. He was,
Right.
No, I'm kidding, but yeah.
No,
It's
we get you.
We got to talk about some of the recent stuff you guys are doing, some of the covers and some of the cool
Look at
artists
this.
you've been working
Oh,
with.
it's beautiful.
Dude, look at this shirt. I'm not going to get
Look at
rid
him.
of it yet, but look at this shirt.
That's
Notice what he's got
Thomas
on there,
Pinheiro.
people. He's got the We Got You Covered.
Thomas Pinheiro from Brazil created that image.
Nice.
So good. Just the image on its own is unreal, dude.
I was gonna say, and working with Tim Owens, man, like amazing with Ripper, man. That's amazing.
He didn't even know that song. He didn't know that song. You believe that? He fucking never heard that song. I was talking to Tim.
I'm with Ripper. I've never heard it, dude. I knew
never heard the Bright White.
I have now, but I never heard it.
I always knew Australia was an island. I always knew you lived on an island.
We do, and I didn't hear the other two as well, which I'll dive into as well, which was really cool. I know who. April Wine done the Sign of the Gypsy Queen, which you done there with David White of Heathen, man, as well. I'll share the screen for that one because that's got a cool image for it as well.
Indeed, I was gonna say.
And then
look at that.
One.
Oh, look at that.
If you want to mention that one, I'm actually doesn't she look like a tranny version of Chuck Trudeau? Zoom in on her.
I can't, unfortunately. I'm just sharing. I wish I could for you.
It's got nothing against trannies. I'm beating up on Trudeau. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, just
right.
yeah, politics, isn't it?
I fucking hate that guy.
Amazing.
Hey, it's an infinite amount of lyrical cannon fodder. So I have to thank him for that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Lots of Rectify material.
Let's talk about Wags and what's going on with Rectify right now. So Gutter Creek's done, man. It came out October 31st, and 2 weeks before it dropped, I tracked 15 songs, which will be the next Gutter Creek, as well as an EP. The EP is gonna. I talked to Soren about this recently, and Soren said, "Let's do the EP first." And these songs are more in line with Ghost than they are with Gutter Creek stuff, like the original stuff. It's more radio friendly, really simple shit. Big hooks, big melodies. Yeah, and then the Sabbath guitar tone. You know, that was the goal, and I think it was achieved, man. I'm really happy. I think I think the next record is going to be even better than Thanks to the Face.
Oh, nice.
The more songs you
Oh,
write,
wonderful.
the more tricks you learn about how to write a song. And when you find out what works and what doesn't, you kind of double up on what works and you remove what doesn't. You
Yeah.
know, does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So now instead of just having a chorus, now you got a pre-chorus. So you got another hook that comes in before the big hook, you know, and then your bridge is another hook, and then you know what I mean, like, and it has to have a hook in. Got to have that sing-along part or some sort of feel-good part. You'll notice some of the songs, Defeated for sure, Evil Ditches. Those two tracks don't have a guitar solo, but they have a lead break in them, and it's a rhythmic breakdown. It had all this crazy shreddy stuff in there, and I thought, no, man, like those are not those solos. That type of stuff is on the record, but let's put more melody into the record. Just take away the fretboard masturbation and put in something that has melody. You can sing it. You can hum the lead line. You know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be technical or difficult to be crafty, to be worthy of a song. So, anyway, that was what I was thinking. That was the approach. So now, even to the more extreme on these new set of songs, it's going to be more about radio-friendly hooky stuff. So that's what's going on in the Gutter Creek world, completely. Derek and I are doing some more recording for some video stuff, and that'll be it.
Well, you're working with Derek Kroll. He's an unreal drummer, dude. I've actually interviewed him before as well with the Votov boys as well. He's in about, I know he's drawn back on some of the bands he's working with now because he really wants to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Derek. Yeah, he's pretty easy to work with too. Like, you know, we gel pretty good. We disagree on certain things, but we work shit out pretty easy. You know, like it's you know, and it's never like
being able to have an adult conversation and disagree and still being able to come to
terms.
A lot of things people can't do these days.
It's not play this. It's like, why don't you try this? See if this works.
See if it works. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we'll do like for the last record, Fangs, there was only like I think 1 or 2 songs that he revisited 2 or 3 times. Most of them it was like one off, and yeah, perfect. Because we rehearsed a lot of those songs many times, right? We jammed them out. So
yeah.
You know? Like we had Fangs written before we went on the first tour. When we were touring for the first album, Fangs was already written, the title track. So it was super old. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit about Rectify, what's going on, because this is what I'm currently working on. So Dissecting the Leech is finally going to come out spring 2024 through Massacre Records. That's for sure. You're going to see a big PR thing blow up soon, about 90 days out before the release. This is what I was told. This is how they're going to do things. So
awesome.
I don't know what to expect, but I expect the world, of course, from that label. But let's see what happens. Let's see what they do for it. And you know, I hopefully the fans, the album resonates with the fans. I thought that Powers That Be was my favorite record up until now, even over The World Enslaved. But I think this just Dissecting the Leech is my current favorite. Having said that, we're almost done doing. We have 1 song left to go, and we'll have everything done for Rise of the Vigilante, which is the follow-up to Leech, which is going to be our second album coming out on Massacre Records from a 3-album deal. So I put the carriage before the horse again, but because they were going to wait a year to release it, I thought, well, I might as well keep writing. So
you
know what? So Rise of the Vigilante was what's new about it. Is it's a concept record, so there's 8 songs plus a bonus track that Wags wrote, which is absolutely fucking brilliant. It's an amazing song. I'm so proud of him for writing it. It's just a brilliant song. It's an amazing piece of music, and it's going to find its way onto the album as well. So 8 songs telling the story about a disgruntled police officer who works in an environment where he's surrounded by corruption. His association or union, if you will, are corrupt. So he's kind of like forced out to the point where he has to make a decision, or shit or get off the box, so to speak. And he steps away from the job, and then he gets violated or attacked and then he becomes a vigilante, and then he gets
Oh,
it
wow.
escalates. And towards the end of the story, well, we'll have to see what happens.
That's it.
Wow. That's a
There might be
lot,
some
dude.
parallels to it. There might
Very
be some
cool.
parallels to it from real life, maybe. You never know. There might be some truth into some of the characters in there too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Maddie, that's very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, you're quite.
Yeah,
quite
it was an
prolific, man.
ambitious effort. It was like an ambitious thing to take on, because it's very vitriolic, very tongue in cheek, very angst driven. When I read the lyrics, I laugh. I hope I get that same response from other people. A lot of like an Anthrax lyric from the 80s,
Sure.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
I am the law. You won't fuck around no more.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, Yeah, don't take it too seriously. Yeah.
Exactly. And as I was just mentioning, you're really quite a prolific songwriter, and that you're really, from the first time we've had a chat, like, I was like, I've already got the next 3 albums ready to go with Rectify. I think we were talking on that first interview. What's it
dude,
like making
that
this
blew our
music? How do
minds.
you keep yourself motivated and like, fuck, man, I know that you're your babies, you create the music, but you create these songs, and about a year later, you're getting the album out and you've already got a couple more ready to go. How do you retain that motivation and that passion to be able to keep rolling and pushing on, man? You know what I mean? I know it's something you love and you're going to do regardless, man. But yeah, how do you keep the motivation and the passion strong, bro, considering that the time between these albums?
It truly is a catharsis for me. Like, I suffer from PTSD full on, from Afghanistan, from being a cop, from just dealing with the worst of people, and seeing victims at their worst, at their most helpless, their most vulnerable. And it's something that manifests in my head constantly. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying, so I'm constantly writing music. That's my escape from it. That's how I get away from it. I don't drink, I don't snore, I don't jam, I smoke a little weed, but that's it. This is my only escape, man. All I got is music.
That's all the doctors will let me do anyway, too, Matt.
I do a little tear running or something. That's about it, man. Yeah. So for me, the writing thing is almost like an essential necessity as part of my life. Yeah. It's just as simple as every day I walk my dogs, and every day, or not every day, but every other day, I feel like picking up an instrument, not to practice, but to see what comes out of me, Yeah. I actually never practice. I don't practice scales. When I pick up my guitar, it's to play a song.
Yes, sir.
I don't noodle too much. I'm more of just strumming and songwriting, trying to learn other people's material or come up with my own. But the noodling stuff is not my forte.
Exactly. You've given so much of yourself in service to your country, not only with the military and with the police force as well. It must kind of be good to come to this stage of your life and kind of create stuff for yourself. I can kind of see why you have this motivation and this drive to kind of get it all out there and have something positive for yourself and do something that you've wanted to do for so many years, as we kind of touched on in that first chat. You know what I mean? That motivation to push on, and kind of, you've had it all bottled up in you for so many years that now it's like that champagne bottle popping and it's like all fucking coming out. World, take this.
Right.
Well, I lacked confidence for a long time too in my belief in my own ability. And fast forward to today, and Chris Poland just split all the solos with me on this record. So it's like it's quality shit, man. It's quality stuff. Or
amazing.
He wouldn't put his name on it. He wouldn't say yeah. He wouldn't say sure, man. When I reached out, hey Chris, you want to do 50% of the solos on this record with me? And send me the songs. Send them the songs. Yeah, let's do this, man. This is awesome. So that has to tell me, it has to convince me that the music, if nothing else, is at least qualitative enough that it has an allure to guys like Chris Poland, which, as far as I'm concerned, that's top of the heap in this industry as far as musicianship goes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, if you make a short list of five names, he's going to make every list, I would think.
Yeah.
Right? In the pantheon of rap, anyway.
That's it. You've as an independent band and artist through the years of what you've done, and we just kind of touched on, you've managed to, you know, you're not making millions of dollars, but the respect you've gained from your fellow musicians
I
as
don't,
well.
I don't care about that shit. That means nothing to me.
Respect. Respect.
What does that lead to?
Exactly.
Maybe some material possession, maybe some financial whatever. But at the end of the day,
it's not as much as what you get now, mate. You get respect from the artists and the people you work with. Ripper Owens, David White, you know, Chris Paul.
Dude.
Things that you're doing now are worth more. And when we're sitting there in our last days, we're not sitting there counting our fucking money. I'm not sitting there with the cancer shit going, man, I wish I was richer. I'm going, man, I'm glad I'm able to chat to people like Matt and make these connections and build a legacy and do something,
brother,
for the scene that I love. And I'm sure you're the same, to be able to create a legacy and have a body of work that people can look back. Anyone can look back and go fucking get something out of it, you know, get that inspiration, get that motivation, and go out there and kick the fucking day in the ass and push on, you know?
1000%.
Something like that.
Something like
say
that.
that again. Say it again.
Exactly like that.
Exactly. Well, hey, man, so the next endeavor for I'm going to NAM in January. Jim, you ever been to NAM?
No, I really want to go. Me and Lenny were talking about doing that, and I definitely want to go.
As an artist, I'm going as an artist to rep Robert Calhoun's Arachnid Cabs.
I just kind of want to go to meet you. Let's just go, man. Let's just go. Let's just go, brother.
Yeah, well, I'll have to twist the missus' arm.
Well, listen, you come down, we'll hang out, man. If you go to NAM,
I think me, you, Jai, and Lenny, we should just share a suite in LA.
I think Jai.
I think
make
so.
An effort to go.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I'm definitely planning it. It's on my bucket list.
North American Music Convention, man. This is the one. This is the big show, and like all the big dogs are there. Like Gary from Exodus is going to be repping these Arachnid cabinets, man. Like these are the big leagues. You know, it's kind of cool. It's kind of like feel like a kid in a candy store, hanging out with all the rock stars.
We should go, boys. We should go.
Definitely would be a lot of fun, man. That's for sure.
I'll be there. You guys could go.
I got to twist my missus' arm. I'm looking at Thailand or the US. I'm trying to con her into the US though. I'm looking at a few things after the cancer treatment. Man, I've lost so much last year. Like this year, I just haven't been able to go to any gigs or anything. Sure, so next year, it's like, what the hell can we do, man? I'm really keen to get out there and get amongst.
I think we should do Bloody Legends at NAM.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'd be definitely a lot of fun.
I think we should
any
do
sponsors
it,
out there want to sponsor us?
I was gonna say, man, we're a cheap date.
We are definitely a cheap date. So when are we looking at next? Roughly with Rectify, man. What have we got? Release.
You got April May-ish for the release of Dissecting the Leech.
Awesome, and we did
Dissecting the Leech.
Touch on your work you were doing there with Amanda, man. Like I'm pretty keen to hear what's going to happen with that, because
it's probably going to be released as a single.
Yep.
And one track and left at that for now.
Okay.
For now.
Cool.
Yep.
So Amanda's got other stuff she needs to focus on in her life, and she's just I talked to her a few months back, and she was really busy with life. Just in general, man.
Yeah.
And we talked about the money, and she doesn't even drive. Like she buses around, and she, you know what I mean, the commute and stuff. So to expect her to drop what she's got going on to go do vocals for me for a little project that we're doing is just not fair. I mean, even expect her to
That's fair.
Sure.
Yeah. So having said that, remember, I don't know if you remember this. I remember this. We had this discussion about this project, and I said something probably along the lines of that some of these songs could be Rectify songs, the songs I was writing with Amanda, given the proper drum beat. Yes. So one of the songs that I wrote intended to be with Amanda ended up on the new Rectify album.
Awesome.
But nice.
Rise
of the Vigilante. And Derek actually did the drum tracks to it.
Yeah, Derek's a bass.
Oh, beautiful.
All that too, dude.
Yeah.
And we got a new drummer now in Rectify, right? Mark Miller's our drummer now.
Yep, I've seen that, man.
The Bay Area. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
With Mark, I hung out with Mark when I was in California there in October, and yeah, he was a good dude, man. We hit it off right away. Good guy. He got my sarcastic humor right away. Like you tell, like some people are completely put off by it, and other guys you could see that we're gonna get along just fine. Like
awesome.
You know what I mean?
The Canadian humor is a little like the Australian humor as well. It's kind of hit and miss sometimes, especially Jim gets us, that's for sure. But
I do.
I know some
for real.
I've chatted
I was gonna say I understand you both. No words. Beautiful.
Awesome,
beautiful.
guys.
Beautiful.
It's always good. It's always good talking to you guys, and it's good to have, like I said, a conversation with Jai. I know you had some rough goes yourself the last year, buddy. So I've been sending positive vibes. And you're in my thoughts and prayers always, brother. Always holding you in high regard and hoping for the best outcome for you and yours. Always.
Legend, brother. Much love and respect. Means the fucking world to me, man. It's always a pleasure catching up with you, Matt. Do you have any last words, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to add in there, my friend?
I deserved them for you this time.
Thank you,
last
brother.
words were going to be for you, brother. Yeah.
That went straight to the heart. Thank you so very much. Everybody,
Indeed,
go out there, grab some Gutter Creek, grab some Rectify.
I mean every word.
That's it. Put it in the stereos, crank it really bloody loud. The neighbors are going to want to hear it as well. Cheers.
Oi, you're tuned in to Jai That Aussie Metal Guy, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his sick content. And remember, stay brutal, you legend.